Hi, welcome to the Sportish podcast. My name is Lily. I'm a biology and sport management major here at Central.
And hi, I'm Brandon Wise. I'm a exercise science and sports management student here at Central on the track and field team.
Awesome stuff. Okay, we are here to talk about our top 5 game-changing movies. So, with that, we have kind of some parameters. So, first, it has to be no animated and a true story, and then kind of how we base the ratings.
So let's go with impact on the sports, like sports culture. Does it affect how people play now, or why they decide to play, or continue to play? And then like rewatchability.
For sure. And then we added that emotional inspiration, like like how did it make us feel about not like deep introspective thinking about the movie, but just genuinely like how did we feel watching the movie?
That emotional impact.
For sure.
Super important.
Definitely.
Especially like it goes in with rewatchability. Like, could you just watch this over and over again? And some of these, yeah, I feel like you can.
Definitely.
So, do you want to start at the bottom?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. All right, my first is McFarland USA. All right, running movie. I just run for fun, unlike Brandon here on the track and field team. I think overall it's just like a solid cookie cutter, feel good movie for sports. Like, you could watch it again, really inspirational, and it just overall has like a great feeling. It's cool. Like, who doesn't want to see a cross country team succeed like that?
Yeah, I agree. I actually probably have that on my list, but not at rank 5. Rank 5 for me was Ford versus Ferrari.
Is this a sports movie or is?
I mean, I would consider it a sports movie. If you talk to some of your friends, I feel like F1 is really starting to pick up and like who's watching it. Like, I love this movie. The ending just hit me really hard with that emotional inspiration part and the impact on sports culture. I'm not sure about that too much, but it's definitely a rewatchable movie and it's based on a true story. It was a really good movie to watch.
Yeah, those are great 2 movies just to like start us off.
And that was really recent too.
Yeah.
But for ranked 4 movies, that's my McFarland USA. I'm
All
a
right.
runner,
All right.
so I had to have this on here. I feel like I would get backlash if I didn't, but I mean, it really shows that message of like anyone can run. You don't have to fit a certain mold, especially with some of those ending scenes, pulling up the anchor leg. It's a great movie.
Heck yes. All right, my number 4 is Rudy. True underdog, like true underdog movie. And I guess it really touches on that like cookie cutter feeling or like look you have to have as an athlete. Like Rudy, tiny guy. I mean, for guys, I guess tiny. I wish I was like that tall, honestly. That'd be cool. But anyways, like Rudy just coming from the bottom and really working his way to the top and showing that like that hard work and determination really pays off. So, just overall great show, and I know I love watching it with my grandparents and my parents. Yeah.
I mean, my 4th movie is very similar. It's also a football movie. It's Radio.
Okay.
If you haven't seen Radio, it's pretty much the real life version of like The Water Boy with Adam Sandler. It kind of gives you that feel, but it hits you emotionally, and I feel like it had an impact on how people treated others in the sport. But yeah, that's a true underdog story of just like treating other people well as well.
Have you rewatched this movie a good amount of times? Like,
I would say I've watched it a few amount of times. I'm actually not a football guy, so this is ranked really high for me. But yeah.
all right, we're moving fast. All right, number 3. I think this is a movie that so many people know, and I love this movie. Definitely rewatchable. Cool Runnings.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's one of the
Bobsled team.
few comedies I can watch.
Right? It's so good, so funny, and honestly, like super inspirational and definitely rewatchable. And just the impact on sports culture and kind of showing the globalization of sport around the world is huge, especially now with just the spread of sports and the opportunities that so many countries have right now. So, Cool Runnings, top of the list. So good, so funny, like you said. Just overall, great movie.
Great movie. John Candy.
All right, your
number 2?
wait. Oh yeah. All right, we're number 2 already. Wow, we are moving fast. All right, I think this one is is pretty underrated, but it's pretty recent. Came out in 2023. Cool Running, or oh my gosh, not Cool Runnings, my bad. Boys in the Boat. Boys in the Boat.
I actually have never heard of this movie.
Okay, so you
What is it
definitely
about?
you have to check this out for sure. It's about the UW Go Dogs. Just kidding. I like WSU. The UW
Says the Central student.
right. Go Wildcats. All right. The UW rowing team for going to the 1936 Olympics, and just the long journey it took them to get there, coming from the bottom. A lot of people still coming back and still being affected by the Great Depression, and just, yeah, and just the poverty level there in Washington and not being able to find a job, but really coming back from that. And this Olympics where they competed was actually the one where Jesse Owens competed down in Berlin. So just a really good historical movie, and it was based on a book. I love reading the book first and then watching the movie. So
Oh
yeah, all right,
Books first, always, always.
all right. Yours.
My rank too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a basketball guy, so I'm picking Coach Carter
Okay.
and Samuel L. Jackson, based on a real life story. I just like watching how you see the characters develop, you see the characters grow as people. I mean, for student athletes and just athletes in general, I think this is super important. It's not just, I want to be a great athlete. You got to be a good person first. You got to be a good student first. Student before athlete. So I think this one had a really big impact on sports culture, which was one of our criteria. And it just, such a great movie. The way they worked through all the players and the parents just deciding like, okay, yeah, students, athletes, we're going to bring them together. And yeah,
Well,
great for mindset.
definitely has that like emotional inspiration and kind of like motivation that a lot of these movies do. But like Coach Carter's really there, like pushing it in and like ingraining that
Yeah.
for sure. All right, we're at our number ones, top of the ranks. Mine, Miracle. I'm all over the board with my sports, but Miracle has to be my favorite, and based on these parameters, the best game changer sports movie. Miracle really hits that one inspiration. Like, who doesn't want to see these college boys come out and just dominate the Soviet team? And then this impact on sports culture, I think the true implications of like the actual event happening was absolutely massive. Just seeing USA come together and really come support these guys and really have that like total unison as a country. Definitely rewatchable. I rewatched it last week. So good. And I feel like every time you watch it, you just notice more details about it. So
Yeah,
just overall great movie for sure. And like you can't talk about Miracle without mentioning the locker room scene.
yes.
Like so good. Like I was telling you this. I saw a TikTok of someone like lip syncing this whole clip, and it was just too funny. But it like reminded me of how good and just like how thought provoking his inspirational speech was.
That's literally what I love about sports movies is just like the words that they use and the effect on the people watching it. I will be one of those guys on Instagram or TikTok scrolling, looking for motivational quotes and stuff. And Miracle is definitely a YouTube video that I've pulled up and just like, okay, I need to feel something. I need to lock in. And that's a great movie for it because it's just, the cadence and how he slows down and how he talks about and how he yells, but it's not yelling at him. It's like, it's with his heart. Like, the way you feel when you're watching this, it hits everyone so hard.
For sure. Like truly embodies what a coach should be.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. And my rank one, I did say I'm not a big football guy, but
Is this your second football one?
yeah, it is. It's actually really funny, but I mean, they seem to hit hard. And Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, as a kid, I would just rewatch this over and over again. He's a small guy. I'm only 5'5". He's trying to play in a big man sport. And I remember like when they're playing in the mud, they got the cars around him, it's raining. It just reminds me. I mean, this is a '06 movie.
Hey.
It's kind of old, but
Are you calling me old?
Hey,
Wait, are
no,
you an
no, I-
oh one baby?
I was born in '01, but I love this movie. It just reminds me of me playing soccer in the rain and mud with my friends, and the impact of being okay. I throw javelin in a sport. Javelin's a sport where I'm throwing against people who generally have long levers, meaning they're over 6 foot, or 6'3", or 6'5" plus, and I'm 5'5", and I'm just like, this really hits me hard because I'm just like, I can do it. There is a way to do it, and this movie really just shows you. You don't have to fit a certain mold. You can do it, and that's what I love about this movie.
Oh, that's 100% like really impact on your sports culture, like your personal sports culture. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we've gone through our top 5 game-changing movies within sports. Do we have like movies that like we wanted to put on our list, but like
Oh yeah,
oh
definitely.
yeah. All right, let's go through.
You want to call these honorable mentions?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for me, number 1, honorable mention, kind of controversial movie,
For
The
sure.
Blind Side. It is based on a true story,
That's true.
but there has been more recent news about how it's not quite as they depict in the movie, and that just kind of, I felt bad. So
It definitely gives you that emotional inspiration now rewatching it.
yeah, so I used to hit really hard, and now sometimes I just see it and I just feel a little guilty. So I just kind of dropped that off the list, unfortunately.
Oh, that's fair. It is a good movie. Like definitely classic, rewatchable, but a little bittersweet now.
Yeah.
All right. I had Soul Surfer and Moneyball. Like talking to people, we talked about Moneyball should have been like on our actual ranked list, but I think it's just a classic movie. I'm just not a fan of Brad Pitt, unfortunately, but again, solid movie. Got that real sports culture there.
Yeah.
But
I know about Moneyball. I have heard of Soul Surfer.
I think this one's pretty similar to your Ford versus Ferrari. I mean, surfing for sure is a sport, but it definitely has kind of more of the background about Bethany Hamilton and her story with losing her arm to a shark attack and just coming back from that injury and that disability to come back into surfing and dominate at a high level. It was just great movie, childhood movie for sure, but
Kind of niche.
very niche. I feel like very like teenage girl kind of watch, like
All right.
younger girl watch, but I know I love that movie. It's solid. The shark attack a little scary, but overall great sport movie. All right. Do you have one more?
I have one more.
All right.
Because I mean, we mentioned all these sports. I mean, we even had hockey,
Right?
rowing, and we didn't have soccer, the world's favorite sport. So I'm gonna put honorable mention for Pele, the birth of a legend, because soccer needs to be in that list. And Pele, I mean, my dad loves soccer. I pretty much learned soccer from him as soon as I could start running around. So I was like 3, 2, and it's just an inspiration. I mean, he didn't have a lot, but you can work through it. You can learn. You can become the greatest. Hard work and effort.
For sure. No, great movie. I think the like cinematography of that movie was just like very solid too. Like very well done movie.
Kind of Life of Pi-esque.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, it really hits, and it just dives into his life. But yeah, so that's our honorable mentions.
Yep.
For our next podcast.
I guess people can tell us what movies we were missing. Maybe do fictional movies next time. Fictional sports. I know there's some that we
really wanted that
just
unfortunately weren't real movies.
100%. No, for sure. All right. My name is Lily Hoy.
And I'm Brandon Wise.
And we hope that you have a great day. And thanks for listening to the Sportish podcast.
See you next time.